Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a quick tutorial on OpenStreetMaps because it is an integral part of Pokemon Go. This is the map that they use in order to create spawns and those type of things. I have used it for years. When I first did it, I didn't update anything, and I moved into our house, and we didn't have a single spawn in our neighborhood. I started editing the map, and the spawns just started coming. There's now two spawns at my house. There's one across the street, and there are two in our little cul-de-sac. So I can tell you that this works. You have to be patient though, because they only update the map once or twice a year. So once you update it, you have to wait for whenever they decide to update the spawns. And whenever they update the spawns, they base them off of the information that we put into OpenStreetMaps. Now, if you're wondering what happened to the spawns and why they went away, I can almost guarantee what happened was that in the beginning, they were using Google Maps, and they decided to start using OpenStreetMaps because they had to pay for Google Maps. And OpenStreetMaps, I think, actually is the better choice for this reason. Like I said, when I moved in, I did not have a single spawn in my neighborhood. Now, those spawns were based off of Google Maps, which means there was nothing I could do about it. I can't update Google Maps, and I can't add more details to my neighborhood through Google Maps. So, having that addition of OpenStreetMaps gave me the ability to add details that Pokemon Go needed to give more spawns in my neighborhood. So, I think it was actually a plus. Now, what happened recently is that they've been using that old Google Maps data for years now, on top of the spawns created with OpenStreetMaps. But I think what happened was, and I've confirmed this from people online giving me the coordinates to check, is that there are some areas in OpenStreetMaps that don't have a lot of details. And because they don't have a lot of details, they lost their spawns when they took out the Google Maps data and started only using OpenStreetMaps. So now it's all 100% based on OpenStreetMaps. So if you don't have details in your area, you're probably not going to have spawns. So what needs to happen is people should get in their groups and have people just divvy out the work and update your map on OpenStreetMaps, and then you'll get all your spawns back and more. Again, that's the benefit of OpenStreetMaps is it is based off of the details you put in. I want to just show you some of these details. So you're going to want to sign up for OpenStreetMaps. So go to openstreetmaps.org right here, and you will find this map that Pokemon Go is using to create their spawns. I'm just going to pick a random place here. I'm going to zoom in, and we will add some details, right? So the problem is these areas right here. Now this looks like it's good, right? You've got your streets, but I almost guarantee they're not going to have as many spawns as they used to because all there is here is streets. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. So now that I'm logged in, I can now edit this OpenStreetMaps. And I seriously will tell you there is no need to add details or make stuff up, right? There's no need to do that because there's so much stuff that you can add that's legit that will give you spawns. See, look at this. So what they had was streets. That's all they had. And so I almost guarantee they lost a bunch of their spawns, or they never got any, because this is similar to my neighborhood where they simply just didn't have any spawns because Google Maps doesn't even put this information. It's just a normal street. Now let's say, for example, you lived in this little house right here. If you lived in this little house, you want to get as many spawns as you can as close to you. So I would take the time and fill in all the details of this block, right? So first start off with paths. Paths help the most. I'm pretty sure one of the main things that creates spawn points is having multiple paths near each other. So like you can add the finer details. One of them would be driveways. So I'm going to click on the line up here. I'm just going to draw this guy's driveway. And I would bring it all the way up to the house because I'm going to draw the house in a minute. And then when you're done, see that it keeps hanging. So whenever it's done, you just hit the enter button and you got what you had. So you search for driveway. There we go. So you just search for driveway. So this is now a driveway. There's a ton of detail you can put in here, but honestly, you don't need to put in the details because Pokemon Go is not looking for those details. If you want to be as detailed as possible, feel free. But as a Pokemon Go player, that's all you need. Again, you can add all of these little, and this is a path, right? So this isn't even a driveway, but we're going to put that in there because everything helps. And this is just a path. It's not a sidewalk, it's just a path down the road. So we're going to add that, and so those are lines. Now I'm telling you, you can add sidewalks, back alleys, paths around, paths through the woods, driveways, unpaved. One I added was a path through a back wooded area into my job that I had to walk every day. So every day I had to walk down this path and it had no Pokemon on it. So I put in a dirt path that kind of went through this shortcut of mine, and it's legit. There's no issue with putting in a path that is a real path, even if it's a shortcut through the woods. And I did that, and now I have Pokemon spawns on my work path. So think of anything you can do. Also, one of the things that people don't think of are gutters and drains. Those things, if you put creeks, those type of things, if you use the water paths, like if you can actually like change these. Obviously, I'm not going to change this, but I just wanted to show you that you can do a drain and see how it's a water thing here. There are a couple that I have created that have it's just drains that now spawn water Pokemon near them. That's right. If you categorize them like this, you can get specific to the type. That also works with grass areas and those other things. Is they will be specific to what they're near. I also created a little fountain. There was a little fountain in one of our parks, and there was one near my office building where I work. And I put that on OpenStreetMap, and the next time they updated, we now have a consistent water spawn. Now this water feature was a little waterfall. I mean, like 10 feet long, maybe. That's what I put on OpenStreetMaps, and now we have one little water spawn that will spawn there every single time. And where I live, there's not a lot of water spawns, so I know that it's there because we put in that water feature. So these definitely can change and will definitely help with spawns. So those are the lines. Put in as many as you can. You can even look through this thing to see what all you can put in. Like I said, there's railroads, there's a ton of different paths, footpaths, marked paths, cycle paths, bridle paths, pedestrian paths, waterways. These are good too. Again, rivers, canal, ditches. That's right. You can put in ditches, and if you put in ditches, you can get water spawns. No joke. So now we'll do the areas real quick. So what you do is you click on the area, and then you're basically going to draw the house with clicks, right? So we're going to do this house. So I'm just going to click on the corners and these little nodes to attach them. It's important that we attach these to the nodes because it likes a consistent, it doesn't like things to be in the middle of nowhere. So like if I just drew a square right here, it would tell me that it's not attached to anything. So what I usually do is I attach it to these nodes in the driveways, right? So I'm going to click on the corner of the house, boop, click on that, click on the other corner, that other corner, And I did my whole neighborhood like that because I'm just like click, 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 click. And it might be easier to go through and do the houses first. I just hit enter there, and that ended the area. So now this is like a whole little area. So I'm just going to do house, and click the house, and now it's a house. And you can move on to the next one, do area, and then, so like this one is going to be in the middle of nowhere, but I'm going to attach with this driveway later. So you can just click, 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 enter, house, area, click, 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 enter, house. They do not have to be perfect. They do not have to be amazing. And just having these houses in here creates more nodes, and you can even get detailed if you want right there. This creates more nodes for Pokemon Go to pick up on to create spawns. So I would do, if I wanted them in my house, which I do like having, I would create as many of these houses as I can. And just go through and keep adding them. And then you can come back, and this might be easier, and do the driveway. Boop. And it does have a memory, so I clicked driveway earlier, so it's in my more recent ones. And you can just keep going. One. Oops. We'll escape from that. And do this driveway here. And that is done. And again, you go through, do the entire block. And then you can add points. And I do know for a fact that points help because I stuck in a million trees around my work, and they were legit trees. Like, you just go on them. I'll show you what I did. I got to the points, and I added one on top of a tree. And I did a tree. And then I click this. And then what you can do is you click on it, Control C, Control V will give you another tree. You can just go to town with these trees. And it is completely advisable to do that, because when I did that near my office buildings, I kid you not, we now have Pokemon out in the trees because I just went to town and put in a million trees that were legitimately there. Now, I definitely do not recommend adding anything that is not really there, because there's no need. Like, if you look at this, there's so many things you can add. And not only that, but you can even add another area in for these people's property, right? So if I just do this, looks like his property line ends right there. We're going to go right here and about right here. I now have another area where I can add residential area. Usually I reserve that, like if I want to do the entire like neighborhood, put the entire neighborhood in area, do residential. But you can also do grass areas. Boop. His yard is now a grass area. These all help. The more nodes that are around, the more likely that Pokemon are to spawns to be created. So just keep going. Do all the details you possibly can. There's more to do in this guy's yard, right? So I can add more trees to this guy's yard. So if this was my house, I would just fill this thing up with every shrub and bush that I could find. All the details of the driveways and the paths. And then just go to the next one. Do the next house. Do that. And do as many as you possibly can, adding every single detail. Like, I don't know what this is. Looks like a little, possibly a little fountain in the back of his yard. So if I just created this little area, I did fountain. Boop. And now that will probably spawn a water spawn. These water spawns, it may only be one, but I guarantee there would be a consistent water spawn. Now it's not guaranteed. It's not like this is 100% going to be a water spawn, but it's possible that a water spawn could start appearing there consistently. And you see a bunch of Magikarp and Squirtle and all kinds of stuff. That's what we see at the one that we created in my office. So again, points. You can do signs, you can do road signs, you can do information booths, you can do benches, you can do picnic tables, you can do all kinds of stuff. So you can just look at this and see that there's a ton of detail that is not there on this map. And it would never be there. Google Maps doesn't have the details for this neighborhood, but we can add it. And once you add it, more spots will be created for you. And that is the 100% benefit of using OpenStreetMaps is we are in control of our spawns. We don't have to worry about whether or not Google Maps has details or not. This gives us the ability to go into the neighborhood and tell this map everything that's in our neighborhood and then allow Pokemon Go to run their algorithms and create spawns right next to us. So that was my tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about OpenStreetMaps, put them in the comments below. One of the things here, once you go to save it, sometimes it will give you warnings. The warnings actually kind of teach you how to use it, and it keeps track of everything that you did. I created the trees, the driveways, the house, all that good stuff. And then I can say neighborhood details. You don't have to have somebody review it. Somebody probably will review it. I have noticed that every once in a while mine gets reviewed regardless of whether I check that or not. So I just usually don't check it. I don't need people to check my work. My work is perfectly fine. And then you upload it. And once you upload it, that goes into the OpenStreetMap system, and it will be there when Niantic pulls that data. Now, I don't know when the next one is. It's usually sometime between January and March. They will pull the data, recreate spawns that needed to be created, and then they will update Pokemon Go. So, I hope this helps. I hope you've got the patience to wait for Niantic to do their normal updates, but I can guarantee you that it totally worked for me multiple times. Not just once. This was not a one-off thing. I know that this works because I have personally had experience with this working. So get out there and map your neighborhood, map your house, map your places you visit. I went through and mapped every place I visited. I mapped where I run, where my kids play, all other kinds of stuff. I just put it all, as much detail as I could, into OpenStreetMaps, and the spawns that I'm getting are just great. There's a ton of them. Let me know how you like this tutorial. It's my first tutorial, so I hope I did all right. Hopefully I can get some criticism in the comments section to let me know if this helped you, and then I would like to hear from you later to see if you got new spawns after updating it.